Alright guys, so here's the review of the Baltany S2049. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you know I've reviewed quite a few Baltanys on the channel now, after I discovered them quite a while back. So that includes these three down here, reviews for each down in the description. And I do actually have separate playlists for each brand that I've reviewed on the channel as well, so check out the channel if you want to see that. When it comes to the packaging, it's the usual Baltany packaging, so I'm not going to go over that, as you've probably seen it before, so let's get right down to the watch. And here it is. So it is a really good looking piece. So they do a few different variations with this one. They do this blue dial version that I've got. They also do a black dial version. They also do a couple of different strap options as well. I've got this on the leather strap here. But you can also get it on a NATO, and I think there's also a leather NATO option. I could be wrong, but check out the link in the description for all the options though. So for those who aren't aware, this is actually an homage of a Hamilton. So now let's check out the dimensions and go over them before we get into more detail on this watch. So we've got a diameter of 39mm, thickness of 12, lug width of 20, and then the all-important lug to lug is coming in at 46.6. So pretty nice compact dimensions. When it comes to the weight of this, on this leather strap I've got it on, it's coming in at 80 grams, but obviously that'll vary depending on what strap option you go for. So now let's get a zoom in on the dial and talk about that in a bit more detail. So you can see there we've got a fully printed dial, nothing applied, which tends to be the case with a lot of Baltany watches, or at least the ones I've checked it out so far anyway. Nicely printed though, no issues at all. And we've got the 24-hour markers on the inside of the 12-hour ones as well. Other than that, we've got the Baltany branding just on the inside of that, and then the automatic at the bottom. So, not too much text, because I think if they'd added a bit more it would have been a bit overcluttered. We've also got that date window over the 3 o'clock as well. And I do appreciate that they've done it in black, so it's not quite colour matched to this blue dial, but it's close enough. And obviously if you get the black one, it is properly colour matched. So I do appreciate that over the white that you usually get. In terms of the hands on this, got really nice hands. High polish on the edges, so they do catch the light nicely. Nice proportions on all of them as well. Then we've got that red tip on the second hand. And then other than that, the only other thing we've got on there is the minute tracker around the outside. So pretty standard for this kind of style of watch. So now let's take a look at the rest of it, starting with the case. So you can see we've got a fully brushed case there. We've also got an unsigned crown, which tends to be the norm with Baltany watches, but it's all nicely done. Nicely finished, no issues at all. We've got that nice bit of curvature to the case as well. And you can probably see with the crystal, we've got an ever so slight curve to that as well. It's not completely flat. So now let's take a look at the strap and talk about that. So we've got the fully brushed buckle on there, matching the case. And again, nicely finished. Then we've got a fairly standard leather strap that you get in a lot of Baltany watches, but it is Baltany branded. Then we've got the sterile case back, which is screw down, and we have actually got 100 metre water resistance on this, which is nice to see. With this kind of style of watch, you want at least 100 metres, and this is exactly what this has got. So let's go zoom out, talk about the movement. So another thing that helps with that water resistance is the fact that we've got a screw down crown. So if we unscrew it, pop it out to the first position, then you can change the date. Pop it out to the second position. You can see the second hand stops, so we've got hacking. And then obviously we can just change the time. Pop it back in, second hand re-engages. All works well. And then we've just got hand winding as well. And then we just screw it back down. So now let's check out whether we've got sapphire crystal on this. Using the trusty diamond selector too. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. So it's always good to see. And tends to be the way with Baltany watches normally, in my experience anyway. Don't think I've had any that haven't had sapphire. So you're probably wondering, what's the lume like on this? So let's check it out now. And you can see we've got a little bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. So you can see we've got BGW9 there with that ice blue colour, and it is really nicely done. You wouldn't think it was a fully printed dial, the amount of lume they've got on there. It's really impressive, which tends to be the way with Baltany watches in my experience. They just have more lume than you think they're going to have for fully printed dials. There's also no patchiness at all either. Consistent across the hands and the indices, so really good. In terms of longevity, yeah, it's not going to last as long as a diver obviously, but given the style of watch, it's going to last a decent amount of time. So, same kind of level as pretty much every other Baltany I've tried out, and better than you'd expect, given it being fully printed. So no issues with the loom here whatsoever. So all it's left to do now is show you what it's like on wrist, and then go over the pros and cons, and then we'll wrap this up. So here's what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And with those nice dimensions, it does wear really nicely, and also that slight curvature to the case helps too. And it's just a really good looking piece. Obviously it's not an original design, it is based on the Hamilton, but they've done a really good job. It's just a really classy looking piece. And with the specs we've got, I think it makes a really good everyday watch. So we've got that 100 meter water resistance, got that sapphire crystal, got pretty good loom considering it's fully printed dial. And I think it'll work quite well on a variety of different straps too. When it comes to issues I have with this, I can't really think of any, to be honest. As I said, it's got really good specs, it's a really good looking piece. So I definitely recommend this one if you are interested in it and if you do like this look. And obviously, as always, link will be down in the description. And that is an affiliate link, so it will help support the channel, but you don't pay any extra. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.